Well, good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend. I know I am. It was a wild last 24 hours. We've had some ups and downs, and we're seeing a little bit of cooling heading into the weekend. It's not really surprising with this overseas candle. It's been very consistent as of late. And now it's a question of, is this going to be more of the same? Are we going to be dealing with a lot of this just flat blah time this weekend and into next week, or are things going to ramp up yet again? We'll discuss all that and more in this video. There's a lot of things that people need to be aware of here. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So yesterday was quite a wild ride. We had some wild ups for anybody that was paying attention to the charts in the middle of the day. We saw ADA run over the course of 4 hours from down at about 85 cents or so, almost all the way up to 90 cents. It was quite the move. It happened very abruptly. This one candle alone at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time for ADA was a 1.6% daily candle. Then of course we had the big ugly candle right at noon, but we actually recovered really well. We were sitting kind of flat. Then we got into a little bit of selling as we started to get into our overseas candle yet again. These 12-hour candles from overnight are just getting really tiring. Just take a look at this. Red. This one was green, but red. You guys get the point. So again, we need overseas money to move the money the same direction as US money if we want to extend to the next zip code. That's exactly what it took back here on Tuesday. It happened. We got it. And here we sit now waiting for the same thing yet again. Now, that being said, we did in fact see BTC come very close to a new all-time high. BTC actually surged all the way up to almost 124K. Remember, the all-time high is 124,501. That took place all the way back on August 14th. But there was very good momentum here for BTC. And really everything started getting lively when BTC broke this longer-term trend. That was a huge moment for the market, and alt started going absolutely berserk. But of course, like we've talked about many times before, there will be profit taking. There will be red. It's not always just straight up and to the right. All right. And I made a post about this yesterday. I said, watching bears try to fabricate some sort of negative narrative is comical. I will say this. There will be red days. There will be a retracement, but shorting the market is dangerous. This is what you're fighting against. Government embrace, record enterprise accumulation, record institutional buying / adoption, rate cuts, QE coming, record sideline market liquidity, mass adoption. Long-term, you will lose. And frankly, the bears long-term are going to lose. And, just kind of an idea of some of the fabrications here. I saw this morning. I thought this was kind of funny. BlackRock and Sailor selling, rich getting richer. And no, that's not happening. In fact, when we look at institutional money over the last 24 hours, we had the second largest BTC accumulation week in history to the tune of $3.24 billion. Yesterday, they added almost $1 billion yesterday alone. Ethereum had the fourth largest week in history in terms of institutional accumulation. So they were smashing the buy button yesterday. And frankly, like BlackRock was mentioned, BlackRock had their seventh largest day of accumulation ever. So this was a very big week, and I think a huge turning of the tides that we definitely need to pay attention to. This is a big reason why BTC is obviously showing a little bit more resilience than altcoins right now. Some people got spooked. They did some selling, some profit taking, which again, nothing wrong with that. But this is also why BTC dominance right now sits just above 59%. This is kind of this putzing along around, playing with this 50-day moving average over the last several weeks here. That's exactly why we're getting a little bit of a breach above this. Now, if altcoins just seem to go blah and just sit still and don't do anything, and BTC continues to gain a little strength in the market, we might be seeing us move up to 60%. Okay, technically, guys, this is I guess our ascending. What is it? An ascending triangle, a right angle ascending triangle. And that's a bullish formation. So on BTC dominance, obviously that means BTC could gain a little bit of ground here. I see I'm losing my train of thought, but we're seeing actually Ethereum do some really good things here too. Float right up around that 4,500 level. I mean, right now the market's looking really good despite the red that we're seeing to start the day, which again isn't really that surprising. We're again sitting on some very comfortable ranges. This 84-cent range just seems to be a range that ADA loves. It's also where our moving averages have kind of condensed at as well. So now we just need to be patient and kind of see what happens this week. But we have been having some very good things take place. For example, we actually saw ADA included in the new CoinShares altcoins ETF filing with the SEC. So this is again another basket ETF that ADA has been included in. That, excuse me, is that 3 or 4 now? Regardless, you're seeing it added in more and more and more ETFs. And it's funny because there's this still back and forth I have going on with a couple viewers. They don't think an ADA spot ETF is coming, but yet the more and more basket ETFs you see ADA in, the higher the likelihood becomes. And again, it's a US based asset. It's decentralized. It's one of the largest market caps in crypto. An ADA spot ETF is going to be coming. All right. Now, obviously, there's no guarantees. Nobody knows what's going to happen for sure. But, you know, the demand is very clear from institutional players, and they're going to push and push and push, just like they've done with other ETFs to get them approved. Now, this week has been pretty big. Okay. We're 4 days now into October. $300 billion has been added to the crypto market since the start of October. That's not really that surprising. There are still people trying to push back in a big whale. Whale with a 20x BTC short worth $250 million now has a unrealized net loss of $22 million. Shorts are just getting absolutely obliterated. Even as this 24 hours has progressed, so we've had some ups and downs. Look at this, still $251.9 million in shorts liquidated versus $189 million in longs. So this is all looking very good. I will say we're seeing open interest again rising throughout the crypto market. It's something we need to watch as we go through the weekend. Remember, the weekends tend to bring lower volume throughout the space. We've had a very good run into the weekend. We've been sitting around $200 billion in trading volume across the crypto market. ADA itself, for example, over the last 24 hours, $1.4 billion. So actually up from the day prior. We've been just kind of like slowly stepping up almost day after day after day. So the thing you need to remember is, guys, this is long term. So like I said, there will be ups and downs. And I'd love if we can get a push through 90 cents this weekend. I'd love to, again, attack the top of our trend here, start to create our breakout. And maybe that's something that comes, you know, at the same time as we get the conclusion of the government shutdown. Maybe it's just early next week in general. Maybe it's around the date that we would normally get our CPI report, which I should have looked at that. I haven't paid much attention to those reports with the government shutdown in effect, but we'll obviously see what happens as we progress through the weekend. So I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.